Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Tuesday night, so it is time to get right back into The Witcher Season 2. And two of my favorite travelers coming down the rabbit hole are, of course, Yennefer's side piece. What's good, fandom?
What is good, DJ? I was watching episode 3 and I'm just like, what the hell am I watching this filler as episode? And then I'm like, okay, so this is why I'm watching this episode. Episode 4 comes along, I'm like, oh, are we getting good? We getting good? We getting good? Damn it! So close to a
Oh,
perfect season.
they slide it in, they get all crafty with it, but they know you're always going to get something out of this one. What's up, AK Alexandra? How you doing today?
I am all right. I am all right. Sitting here waiting to jump down these rabbit holes.
Oh, you already know, and travel down we will go because this is The Witcher Season 2, Episode 3, and it's called What is Lost. And I love how they open with Ciri taking her training so seriously. Like, it shows the contrast of her wanting to train more, yet not allowed to, whereas Gerald was made to train harder than he ever wanted to. So I thought that was a cool comparison. What's up, fandom? You thought this was a filler, or did it finally give you something you actually wanted in this episode?
It gave me something that I wanted near the end of the episode as to speculate more as to the whole what did that witch, try to like have a deal with Yennefer about.
Exactly. And we got to talk about that because what is she really about? What's up, Jay Cruz? I see you out there. What's up? You liking The Witcher Season 2? Did it do it for you? Does it end okay? Don't give me too many spoilers. Why did the other Witchers blame Geralt for Eskel's death? Like, I don't see how bringing Ciri caused it in any way. So why are they blaming him, AK?
I have no idea. Other than they're grieving and they're just being petty and looking for someone to yell at. Now there is definitely something up with Siri, but it's not. None of that. Geralt killing that guy had nothing to do with her at all.
Yeah, exactly. And I get it. I mean, I think they kind of look as Geralt as kind of a leader. Like, I mean, one step below Vesemir. So, like, anything that happens is going to kind of be on his shoulders. But that's about the most I can make of it. I just don't understand why they're blaming him. I get, like, it's weird having Ciri in the house, but it seems like at this point they're loving having her. So she's kind of proved her worth
Hmm.
as well. So,
They probably see her as like a distraction, and because like they need someone to blame in the morning. Well, let's blame Geralt.
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
Homeboy came back after not seeing any of them for how many months, and he was infected with that shit. How are these two things going together? Where's the blame for Siri and Geralt doing that?
Exactly. And so I don't know, maybe they might touch on a little bit more in some upcoming episodes, but right now it seems like they're starting to take her in a little bit more after she went through what
Hmm.
she went through. So we hear Geralt say that if there were a scientific reason for the Leshy's mutation, Vesemir would have found it by now, which leads me to believe that we absolutely called it last week when we said nature was just finding a way to thrive and mutate and live. What do you think, fandom?
Yep, and we pretty much get that within like the next episode where nature really started talking back. Like, okay, so it's been
Hmm.
X amount of years, X, Y, and Z hasn't happened. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Hold my beer.
Exactly. That's it. That's perfect. And Geralt says it's time to let Eskel rest. And I thought he meant like a proper burial, and maybe he did, but what's up, AK? What exactly are those wolves going to do with Eskel's body?
Wolves?
Remember when Geralt and Vesemir took Eskel's body into that cave that was so beautiful
Ah,
to
yes,
walk
yes,
to, where
yes,
it
yes,
kind of
yes.
twisted and you couldn't tell what was up and what was down. It was almost like a medium in the earth or whatever. And those wolves come, and I don't know, like, are they going to eat him and save his body, or do they take? I didn't know what was going to happen.
Maybe. I mean, for how high magic this series is, I'm gonna guess that they're guardians of some sort, and maybe that cave is where they place the bodies of, the witches that have been affected by one of their monsters that they were fighting, or some wonky magic or something that went wrong with them. So they have to be in that special place, so nothing happens after death. But that's pure speculation. I have no proof for that at all.
Taking a witch's soul to the next plane. That'd be pretty sweet. And back in Aretuza, there's a power play happening as Tessie and Vilgefortz levy to unseat Strogobor and Notorious, and politics at its finest, or should I say at its worst. Like, what do you think is going to happen with that, fandom? You think Tessie and Vilgefortz are going to get those seats?
Well, I hope they get their seeds because I don't want freaking Stregobor like getting a hold of it. Because we already see like in the first season they pretty much lay the groundwork of us, the audience, not liking him at all. And he just jumps to conclusions, especially when it came to the whole prophecy about these girls being born beneath the moon, bringing forth
Hmm.
the end of the world. He's like, not gonna happen. Let's kill them off, and then examine their bodies for mutations. And even within this episode and just even like more prejudice towards any type of like elf, even if you can be of a quarter of an elf, 5% of an elf, 1% of an elf, you're done. I'm just like, no, we don't need that on the council or any ruling.
Yeah.
What's up, AK?
No, I agree wholeheartedly.
And we see that like Strogobor is the ultimate politician. Like he can flip the script in any situation, no matter how bad he is. And we're going to be talking about that. But yeah, he is by far the best politician in this show. It's unbelievable. Like the way he can flip it is
I,
just
I don't know if I could even give him the politician title.
ooh.
That's
Wait.
I don't know. It for him. These are his battles. He doesn't wield a sword. He wields words
Mhm.
and random ass magic. So I feel like he's more of a tactician to get all of his plans in motion and staying in the direction he wants them.
Oh, but the way he
But
can
he fucked up though.
yeah, the way he can get thrown under the bus and flip an entire crowd, that is politicking at its finest. Like they're getting ready to charge him for treason, and he ends up yelling at somebody and flipping it and switching everything and getting his way in the end. Like that is a politician at its finest, or its worst, like I say. Jennifer has lost her magic and in turn her power, and the old witch in the tomb told her that she would beg her to take it. And we were asking, like, maybe it was her life she was talking about, but in her dream, she was pregnant. So I'm like, is it a child she was referring to? Like, now that Yen lost her magic, is she going to be able to have a baby, fandom?
I don't know about that. At one point I did, but as this episode, and the next episode, I'm like, maybe it's just her like gaining her magic back right now. Like first she needs her magic, then it's the baby.
All right. If
If
you
given
think,
the choice, I think she would choose the magic over the baby.
ooh, really? You agree with
I
that?
agree.
Yen?
I agree.
Wow.
Yeah, I think she definitely would now, and that doesn't smother the the motherly life that she does want to have. She's just gonna find another way to do that after the magic. That's gonna come first.
Wow, but she had the magic and then she didn't care. It seemed like she didn't care about it. All she wanted was a baby and was so mad that they took that away from her. So now that she might actually be able to have it, you think she'd still pick the magic over it? That's interesting. I like that. I can't wait to see
I
how
mean,
that.
if it's one or the other, yeah.
That's amazing. And then Yennefer told Tessia, I need to tell you something. And Tessia cut her off quick and said, let me speak first. I think Yen was about to reveal that her magic was lost. And Tess stopped her to tell her what was up and to say, like, she, for one, will always be grateful for a sacrifice. Like, how did she already know that Yen had lost her magic, AK?
Mom's always no.
She said, I know you to your
She
core,
like she said, I know you inside and out better than you even know yourself.
right?
Tessia knows exactly what clues to look for. All she has to do is take a good look in the Yennefer's eyes, and she can read that shit like a book.
She knew her for like years upon years, and
Yeah,
everyone else just like knew her for casually. So she would know before anyone else, like, okay, something's wrong with you. What's wrong? Is it physical, mentally, or it's your powers? And it's her powers.
yeah. Yennefer can probably hide that from everybody else, but she ain't hiding from her mom.
Mama always know.
Hmm.
Jay Cruz says she can adopt.
I mean, he's not
I'm
wrong.
just saying there's facts on that.
Francesca said she knows there will be a price to pay for letting her people have a safe haven in Exandria. Is like, is she happy to pay it? And what do you think said cost is going to be, Phantom?
May I repeat that?
The Queen of the Elves, when she's talking to Fringilla, is like,
Mhm.
she knows that there's going to be a cost for letting all the elves come to Exandria and have a safe haven there. And I'm like, what do you think that cost is going to be? They kind of touch on it, but
I mean, one, the prejudiceness from like people in general. That's one thing. Two, now everyone knows where the elves are at. So it's like just going to there. Was it Central they're at, right?
Zentria, yeah, they're going
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get their
So
own.
now if you want to like try to find elves quickly, boom, go there. If you're trying to escape routes or anything, obviously they know where you're going. So it's a plus and a minus with that. And two, you still even know if you can trust Fringella or that freaking witch from the previous episode.
I don't trust none of them
And
witches.
that's exactly what I was about to say. Fringella is a very, very well trained mage. She legit might be fooling all of us right now and just being a double agent. You want to destroy the rest of the elves and put them in their place, quote unquote, like they were saying? Put them all in one spot and bomb the hell out of it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that because, there's some things going on between these witches and what they saw. Well, Ciri trains, Lambert and Cohen decide to have a little fun with her, and they tease her about fighting a straw opponent, and she asks, what did they do? And so they end up taking her to their Witch Ascension Ninja course, and Ciri's about to go through it. Like, they basically taunt her, saying she's too much of a princess to make the run, and of course, she's determined to prove them wrong, so... I don't see why Lambert's so butthurt. Like, Ciri only said she wants to do what a Witcher does, not become one. So it just seems like she wants to learn to protect herself. Why is Lambert being so harsh on her, AK?
Because he's Lambert. I mean, there really isn't a whole lot up there to do at Witcher Magic School. So now he's got this, adopted kid sister. So yeah, he's gonna act like any older sibling does. He's gonna fuck with her as much as he can get away with.
Yeah, it's almost like he's the lowest of all Witchers, and like Ciri coming in, like that makes her the closest competition. So he's got to beat her down, and now all of a sudden she's starting to come through, but he just doesn't know what to make of it. But tell me you didn't feel that first blow when Ciri got knocked off that obstacle course, fandom. Like, tell me you didn't say out loud.
Yeah, I did. I felt it. I was like, damn, Ultimate Warrior right here in the Witcher style. And damn, back and forth. But hell, she got back up.
Every time.
And that's just it. The tenacity was amazing.
She's kind of got an Arya vibe here.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. That's so sweet. And then when Yen was sitting by that pool back in Aretuza, I was so waiting for one of her little eel friends to come up and bite her. I was like,
bro, I was like, what the hell are y'all doing going in there naked? There's dead things in the fucking water. What are you doing?
Oh, and mad things that have mad magical things. Like, you turn me into this eel, I'm about to get back at somebody.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going in that water. I'm going straight.
Of all the places y'all could go have a group spa moment, that's the only place you could find? Yeah. Your island is literally surrounded by water.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be like Trish and be like, not today. Not
exactly.
Today. Oh, did you notice when the three girls came out to the water that one was Triss and the other two were the girls that she met last time she was down there, all grown up? But there were only two, though. So what's up, fandom? Did that third girl get turned into an eel?
I don't think so. Like, I don't think any of those were, like, any of them turned to eel, right? At one point, I was, like, saying to myself, were they turned to eels and turned back? But I don't think they ever were.
Wow. Because just when Yennefer went back that first time and there was the three little girls in there and she ended up, getting them high and telling them, don't do everything and think for yourself and all that. There's three girls. And then when they came out, there's three girls, but one of them was Triss. So where'd that third girl go, AK?
He probably had to go for the deep dive. Sometimes the best thing you could do for the team is die. So
I'm thinking she's an eel now. Yep, absolutely. Strogobor shows, like I said, what a clever politician he is when Istrid comes in calling him a liar, and Strogobor just makes a quick play on words to make him look silly and keep the crowd on his side. And I'm just like, they're showing
how gullible is everybody in that damn room?
So much.
Like, y'all really can't see past this asshole's bullshit?
They didn't have the internet back then. They just, you know what? I mean,
you don't even need the internet.
You don't need the internet. All you got to do is listen to him for 2 seconds and tell him to go fuck off.
Oh, man, absolutely. Some people just aren't nice. I'm telling you, this man, he gets it done. Do you really think Strogobor lost his hands on Mir, or like was that just an illusion to sway the crowd, AK?
Say that again?
When Strogobor showed that he lost his hands in Mir, like basically that old fight when the what's-her-face came in, do you think that was an illusion to sway the crowd, or do you think he really lost his hands and he's just glamored like the girls are pretty?
I think that's an illusion. I don't trust anything that comes out of that man's mouth at all.
Man,
100% agree. Kind of reminds me of freaking the Palpatine when it came to like him. It was mainly just like an illusion.
Most people are gullible back in that days because they just don't know. A lot of people were just ignorant. I mean, it's not like they were all going to college. And how is Strogobor trying to make the jump in connection to Tessie and Vilgefort's taken over to being run by elven blood because Yen has a quarter of elven blood? Like, Yen isn't running for the seat. The other two are. Like, how are they trying to make this stretch, fandom?
I mean, if she had like her powers, I could see her going for it, but at the same time, as of right now, that's not like seems to be her goal.
Of course it's not. And that's just Strogobor doing Strogobor, just politicking, trying to keep his seat and keep what power he has. And Trish says, like, she doesn't want Tessia to heal her scars. What's gone is gone. Were you thinking that she lost her magic too right then, AK?
No. I clued in on that at really just because she didn't want to get in the water. That I don't think that had anything to do with her magic. She was just at that point in time, she's not ready to really be out in public and be okay with people seeing how much she was hurt during that war.
That's what I mean. Obviously, that's what it was. Yeah, she didn't want the other girls to
so
feel
I don't think she's lost her magic though.
But now she's talking about like the scars have healed. But I mean, this could be a while. I mean, that could have been a whole nother timeline. But she's like, the scars have healed, and she still doesn't want to see it. And then Gerald's like, oh, you know, some scars never heal. So
yeah.
But back at Sintra and on the Ninja Warrior course, Siri is showing her tenacity, and she refuses to give up no matter how much blood she spits up. Like, she is not going to stop. I was like, this girl, she's going to be something when she grows up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hate complains to Fringilla that too many elves are coming in and asks how she plans to feed them. And he also doesn't seem happy about the White Flame leaving her in charge. Like, he seems to be the first non-full believer we've met from Nilfgaard. Like, is he going to be a problem later, fandom? It was that guard that came in talking to Fringilla, complaining about all the elves coming in and bitching. Like, most everybody in Nilfgaard seems like they're just a diehard believer in the White Flame, and this guy not so much.
Nah, I can see like there's like some like people just like him. It is in it for just, you know, as just a guard, really. It's something that's I don't think it's like much to read into.
So you think basically that's just showing us that there are a bunch of people in Nilfgaard that actually aren't just diehard zealots?
Pretty much.
I like that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there what's up?
No, I was just agreeing.
Is there a White Flame, or I mean, is there even going to be a White Flame at this point? That's where my mind's going, and I'm like, are we going to find out that later it's just a religion Fringilla made up to keep the people in line? How sick would that be?
Or what if it's whispers from that weird ass witchy lady?
But she was before she ever saw that lady, she was already like a diehard. And then later we hear Kahir say that the White Flame served them first, but still, it's like I'm almost starting.
I need more backstory.
Yeah, because I'm starting to think Fringilla just made this White Flame up to keep the people in line, and that's why she's in power right now. Like, the White Flame magically left her in charge. I'm like, really?
There's something very suspect about the whole thing in that arena, and the more I think about it, the more I think Fringilla is being a double agent right now.
Could be. What do you think about the White Flame right now, Phantom?
The White Flame was still in like the first season, right? Mentioning.
We've talked about it. He's been talked about, but we've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But then they it wasn't the White Flame. It was something else or someone else that they were like following. I forgot who it was. It was like her and like the Black Knight. I think whoever they're following, that's like legit. This White Flame thing, I don't believe it actually exists. Whatever.
I think I might have called it a few episodes, and the White Flame is nothing more than R'hllor. Like, yeah, they follow it, and it's a thing, but it's never been seen or verified. So, yeah, I can't wait to see how that comes up. Or maybe it is like Jake said, and he is the Emperor, and we're going to meet him later. But right now, I'm going with it's R'hllor, and it's fake, and Fringilla made it all up. She lying. Francesca seems to have figured out the witch in the tomb was a fraud posing as Lathina and enlightens Fringilla. What is it that? What is that thing, and what does that witch really want, Phantom? That witch in the tomb.
I don't even know yet. Pretty much, I don't know, because I'm still thinking that witch can very much be that same demon, whatever, that was mentioned like in the very first season.
Okay, I like that.
Which demon?
The one that was like Strogobor was kind of mentioning, but then we all kind of like, maybe he just like feeling himself or whatever, or maybe just like paranoid.
Yeah. That's right.
It could be touching about that. Yeah.
What
Or
if
it
she
could be.
wants
What's that?
babies?
It's what about
Like
baby?
I think she may have some type of plan for the Elf Queen's baby that she's pregnant with, and somehow that's gonna tie into something with Yennefer. Because what could she possibly be talking about? Saying you'll beg me to take it someday.
After episode 4, I don't even think that's an elven freaking baby growing inside of her. I think that's a whole different type of monster.
It might
Ooh,
be.
I
It
like
might
that.
be, and it could possibly be something that's tied to that monolith that was shattered by Siri.
Mhm.
I think
All
that
the
thing.
monsters coming out the woodwork now.
Yeah, for real. I think that monster in the tomb is the witch that killed the very first Witcher, and they enslaved it in the tomb. And I think that's what it's going to end up being. I think that's the same demon
That
that
is very interesting.
Yeah, I think that's that first demon that killed the first Witcher that they had to go and entomb, and I think it's still down there, and that's the tomb they put it in. That's what I think is going to happen with that.
It would make sense that it was a room in Centrea that they found it, right? Once
Yeah,
they got to the city. Yeah, that makes sense.
so that's what I think is going to happen with that situation. And Fringilla says, "Look, that thing in the tomb is fake, but our alliance could actually work. So let's do this." It's like shit. Here we go.
Yeah, you're overly friendly now, bitch. We know who you are.
Mm-hmm. And Francesca makes her swear on her baby bump, so I'm sure that promise is locked in. Fringilla did not look happy to have to promise that, so I think that takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And I wanted Yennefer to chop Vilgefortz right in the neck, dude. When she ran into him in that hallway, like right about the time he said politics, I was like, this woman saved your ass. Show her the respect she deserves. Like, was he already suspecting her as a spy fandom?
Most definitely. Wait, are you saying about Stragaborn or the other one?
Vilgefortz.
I'm still having my speculations on it whether or not I can trust that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I just think he's another
Which
one.
one's Vilgefortz again?
Vilgefortz is the one with Tessia. He's the main one trying to take over the seat from Strogobor and
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
And it's like, if I remember correctly, you got your ass whooped in the battle, and it was Yennefer telling you to slow down and pace yourself, and you're like, I don't have to listen to you, and you ended up getting your ass kicked and knocked out by a tree. So I don't know what all this power tripping is now, thinking like you should get all the power and she needs to just stay quiet. I was hating that.
Yeah, he and his feelings.
Yeah, that was driving me nuts. And then Yen gets ambushed in the hall by Strogobor. He uses the same move on her that Tessia used on Cahir. And I was wondering when Tessia was going to come up and save Yen. Like, we can't let this happen. And sure enough, she did. But it was weird how Strogobor, like when when Yennefer was chained into that chair and like lunged at him, oh boy, jumped back like he was scared.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he should have known right now, or maybe he does, that maybe she doesn't have her magic because he knows he shouldn't have been able to get away with that. What do you think, Phantom?
Yeah, that should have been like the indicator, but blinded by it's not by fear.
It's by
Blinded.
desperation because he's afraid of losing his seat and power.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
He's
I
not
was saying.
thinking straight.
Absolutely. And the fact that Yen let it happen, like I said, was the seal on the cap for Tessia to know that Yen had definitely lost her power. Like, before she would have wiped the floor with Strogobor. No way she lets that happen. So when Tessia knocked Strogobor back and the caption said hisses, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Is Strogobor even a man? Like, he tells Istrid later that the only thing that is certain is no one ever is what they've seen. So are we going to find out Strogobor is not even gay?
That is an interesting thought. I mean, he is a very well-trained mage. He could just be glamored in a different form right now to move about freely in the world. That's an interesting thought.
I just thought it was weird how the caption said hisses. I was like, we're going to find. And then, that was kind of a one-off where he said that no one is ever what they seem. I was like,
yeah.
It could be a certain owl. Cough, cough.
Oh,
yo, somebody's skin changing that owl, man.
I like it.
I'm like, who the fuck is this random ass red priest with the beard? And who the fuck you talking to looking at that owl like that, sir?
Oh, we got Mr. Sixskins himself making an appearance.
Right?
Absolutely. It was nice to see Lambert switch from taunting Ciri to coaching her up. Like, I thought she was going to fall and Geralt was going to have to catch her when he got there, but nope, the little lioness made it 95% of the way through on her own. And it was funny to see Geralt just kind of walk up and say, so close, like just not giving an inch.
She didn't stick the landing.
Right? And he's not doing this
And
shit.
she needed to take that L. So now when she go back and do it again, keep your damn knees bent for your balance.
Absolutely. I love that. And then Tessia called Strogobor out for treason against one of her own. And then he was talking real quick, like I was saying, like he was politicking his ass off right there, and it worked. He went from stuttering to like to yelling at Vilgefortz, it's like, what are you gonna do? I was like, how did you flip the script like so easy? This man.
Being absurd. Well, he's used to tricking people.
Man, I'm telling you, he is the ultimate politician. And it seems Vilgefortz is going to do anything to attain that seat, like even be a little like a true hero of Sodden. Like he's such a small man. I mean, magic much? It's like, come on, man. Yeah, he's got that small man problem. Like he doesn't want to be less than Yennefer. I'm like, come on, give this woman her respect. And he remembers.
Exactly.
Like I said, he remembers her telling him to slow down, but he couldn't listen, and now he wants to act all uppity. I was like, the nerve of this guy. But Yen was right. Why would Tessia bow down to Strogobor's weak demands? Like, she would be a terrible lawyer. And killing Cartier, all that's going to do is prove Yen's a killer, like she said. So the nerve of these people questioning the one that saved their collective arses. I'm just hating this part right here.
It's like the freaking trailer we talked about last night. The dude does some random bullshit and it happens to work out, and he gets praised for it. But then Wanda comes in and she mucks about and does the same shit, but now she's a villain.
Yeah,
it's a catch-22 either way.
What's up, Ian? I see you out there. You see you back, Iron Tron. It tells a lot that Yennefer would rather carry out this farce than admit that she's lost her magic. Like, she thinks that's all she is. Like, did you really think she was going to go through with it, Phantom?
At one point, nope, I wouldn't think she would have gone through it, honestly. To reveal, like, she doesn't have any magic, nope.
She'd just rather kill this man.
Mm-hmm. And the next thing you know, whoosh.
Geralt patches up Ciri and tells her she can do anything, and that doesn't mean that she should. Like, she's not a Witcher. It's more dangerous for her. It's like, I don't know. Did those words sink in, AK, or is she just going to keep at it?
I think she is thinking about it because she does, like, legit want to gain power, but not just gain power for power's sake. She actually, wants to be able to take care of herself. And more than likely, it's probably going to end up in some vengeful war where she takes what is known to her as her home back. And I don't know, but there's other avenues that can go down too. So we'll just have to see. I know what I do know is that she's going to be a very good fighter. Like, she's paying attention. She's learning all the moves. Where that's going to go from there, I don't know. I haven't read the books.
Absolutely. And after she stomps away pouting, he notices sticks growing through the wall. And he pulls them out and finds a Leshy's hand holding Grandmama's sash of arms. Like, was this how it was sending visions to Ciri, Phantom?
Most likely. At one point, I thought it was like some type of monster in the wall. Then I'm like, oh no, it's just a freaking random.
Hold on. You said that the thing was a magnet of frogs?
Yeah.
So
I'm saying the sash that it was holding. Remember Ciri's grandmama's sash that they had?
Yeah.
It was in the wall because that thing had snaked it. So I'm like, is it using that to possess Ciri and give her visions? Or like, what were they trying to say? And why was that even in the wall?
See, that's the thing. It's more likely that it wouldn't be coming to attack Ciri with a sure sign that it knew her grandmother. The only thing that makes sense is that it was trying to get it to her for some specific reason. And while, yes, that one monster that they came up on seemed like it was trying to grab Ciri, but what if it was to take her to some place where she needed to be among some other people?
Oh, believe
or
it.
Something.
And we're going to touch on that because I already have that written down. I was like, Geralt didn't really give that thing a chance to do anything. And that thing had plenty of chances to kill Ciri when it trapped her on both sides. So I'm like, my whole thing was, is it playing with its food before it eats it? Or did it not want to kill Ciri? It wanted to communicate with her because he needed something from her or wanted to let her know something.
I think it falls in more that it's trying to communicate with her. But of course, they're mutated monsters. They don't have words, so they can only do so much.
Jake said it was going after Ciri. And as far as the mutated Leshy goes, we don't know what it wanted either. Because I mean,
Yeah.
it went after Geralt and strew him up, but I mean, maybe again, it just wanted to take Ciri somewhere because she knows about her power and one, communicate with her. So we don't know that those things were going to kill Ciri. Like that's
just that we just know that they were there and they wanted to grab her. But why they bring in Grandmama's coat / thing? There has to be a reason for that.
And like I said, I think that's how they were. I think that's how they were communicating. I think that's how they were putting the visions in her.
Yeah, that's very interesting to think about.
And I like how Ciri knows if Geralt won't train her, like one of the other Witchers will. She's out there. It's like, oh, you tell me to stop. She just goes to one of the other ones. So she's already playing the game inside the walls. And Geralt asks her to follow her visions to see where it leads. And she says, the woods. So to the woods they go, and time to hunt a monster that is hunting her. And what is the connection? Like I said, was that Leshy giving Ciri visions, or was it that other monster maybe that was giving her the visions? Which one do you think?
I don't think it was either.
You don't think it was either?
I think that's just an upgrade side effect to her powers.
She just has visions to be able to see the future. I like that.
When something's like really going down and she gets a strong enough feeling from it to follow, like Geralt said, I think it just starts kicking in.
I like that. And I'm glad Ciri finally learned how to listen. I was like, go, girl. Like Geralt said, run. And that girl, it did not take her long to bounce. I was like, finally, there you go. She's learning. She is learning. And it didn't really seem like we were talking about like that monster wanted to kill Ciri. Like I said, it had a couple chances, but I don't know. I'm on the fence. Was it playing with its food? I'm not even on the fence. I don't think it was there to kill Ciri.
I don't think they are either.
Yep, I think it would have done it. It had plenty of chances to. So yeah, that thing was trying to communicate. And it did. It looked like it was like putting its hands together, like, please listen, don't be scared type of thing. Like if it wanted to kill it, it would just put a little antenna in there and kill her. Just the same way that Leshy.
I think it might be two different sides. Because the one spider looking one came up and killed the full tree Leshy.
So maybe that spider thing knew that the tree Leshy was gonna try to hurt Ciri. So it was like, boom, I'll kill you. You're not hurting my little princess. And
there's a lot of ways that can go.
Yeah. So we need more information, but I kind of think that's the way it is. I really do. Absolutely. Fire and blood all the time. At the beheading ceremony, Yen asked, where's Triss? And they told her she was summoned away earlier that morning. And I was like, of course, I wrote this before I even saw the next one. I was like, any ideas where she got called off to? Or did Tessia just like turn her into another sea slug? So it was good. She actually didn't. And she's just on her way to Carmore. And then we hear the king saying that they don't much trust that their most trusted advisors anymore. It sounds like even if the beheading went through, that it wouldn't mend any of the feelings that the kings are having. They still wouldn't be trusting this mage's fandom. So what's really going on with that?
Yeah, that's just pretty much saying that the time of the mages is coming to an end. Just like it was the time of the elves, it's the time of the mages. And seeing how the freaking, who said it in the next episode, first it's the elves, then who's going to be next? It's going to be pretty much just a list of people that people don't like. Witches are kind of like already on that list.
Yeah.
Who's speaking that knowledge, random, in the next episode?
I don't know who it is. I don't care who. Well, I know that they're speaking of certain facts. I'm like, okay, I give that person 2 cents there.
That's amazing. Man, I'll tell you what, I want to jump right through the TV and slap the shit out of Villagefort. It's like, if you want to show strength and send a message, then you chop that dude's head off. Like, why are you making Yen do it? Like, that is so weak. And then she did her part. Like, it's time for you to do for her. Like, she went out and saved your ass. Why don't you come and save hers for once? Like, this whole thing is so ridiculous. I was so mad at Tessie and Villagefort for letting it go down this way. Like, all they want to do is seize power. I was like, what about the girl that got you here? Like, can we show some love, AK?
They need to. I mean, the king, though, is a very clear idiot. So I don't know how much they actually could have even protested. Because the king said it's got to be done this way or else. I mean, what else you gonna do?
But it wasn't the king. That was all Strogaborg lining that up. We was sitting there getting ready to be charged for treason, and then all of a sudden he's screaming at Villagefort about keeping the people safe inside the walls, and what are you going to do, and da-da-da, what are you prepared for? I was like, this man is a genius. He can just flip the script on anything. Like, this is all Strogaborg. This is what Strogaborg wanted, and he's getting it.
Yeah, and he has the king's ear. So, yeah, he does have that authority to go in and do all that nonsense, but it's still so stupid.
I was irate at those two. I was like, you two are not my favorites right now. And that demon tomb witch is in Yen's head, telling her to free herself and just to say the words. And I couldn't tell if she wanted her to kill Kahir or not. Like, is there any way the tomb witch is the same demon, like I said earlier, from the Witcher that killed the first Witcher way back in the day, trying to make her way back Phantom? You think that holds water?
Could possibly be. Whoever this person is has to be someone from the past.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so the time has come, but instead of bringing the axe down on Kahir's neck, Yennefer uses it to cut his chain and freeze him. And then they run off in different directions, but end up at the same horse. And Yen says, "Get on," and away they ride into the night. And Kahir says, "Why save me?" And she's like, "Get over yourself. I'm saving me." I thought that was a great way to end.
Well, let's not get this twisted, okay? This is not me, not you. You just happen to be there.
Oh, I was loving that one. I just thought it ended with a bang. So that was pretty much episode 1. What'd you think? Or episode 3? What'd you think all in all, Phantom?
That was okay. I was pretty much questioning everything. Because I was like, is this filler? Is this not? Because I can literally just watch this like in a 15-second recap. And I'm like, didn't miss much. But more the speculation, though. Because again, with Strugaborn, if we didn't get much of his prejudiceness and crap within the first season, and just hearing what he was saying in this episode, I wouldn't blame him. Because again, she's a quarter elf. But that is like the whole prejudice thing, though. But then she's pretty much been behind enemy lines with the elves for like a month. She was MIA. What has she been doing in this past months? Like, I really don't blame his whole fear with Yennefer. To then now this happens near the end of the episode where she has a chance to behead the Black Knight, the one that was on the opposite end of that battlefield, and she doesn't do it, and she rides off with him. It does look good for Yennefer.
It's not a good look, is it? I mean, it makes her look guilty and makes it look like Strugaborn knew what he was talking about when he said all that. So.
Yeah, I mean,
now when he's
what,
like,
what they gonna do about Fringilla though?
True.
What's that about Fringilla?
I said, what are they gonna do about Fringilla? Like, if she isn't playing the double agent, is she gonna be going back over there and then being judged also?
Oh, they're already judging. Fringilla already came back. I mean, she's already with Nilfgaard on the black side. Like, she was against them all the way. She was standing right next to Kahir when that battle was going on.
It all depends on like who's running the court still. Because if her freaking father's still running it, then she should be. Oh, excuse me, her uncle is, and she should be okay. Or at least she might get like a slap on the wrist. But the moment he's dethroned or Strugaborn or wherever other like inhabits it, it's game for him.
That's why I think Strugaborn. I think they're tainted. I think Fringilla came in and said, "Listen, the true power is over here. You need to get the court going this way." And I think that's what they're choosing. I think that's what they're doing. So yeah, that's crazy.
I like that idea.
As usual, we're going to finish up this episode with a little bit of trivia. See what you remember from the show. If you know it, write it in the chat box. If you're watching later, write it down below. Oh yeah, and some of these are a little tough. I'm not going to lie. What Witcher was turned into a mutated Leshy? Let's start it out easy.
Oh, Leshy?
Esco.
Esco, exactly. That's exactly right. What's the name of this episode?
You know, something told me to write that damn thing down.
Of all things!
Oh, I knew that easy one would slip through. I knew that one would get through. That's amazing. What was the name of this episode? All right. How long did Tessia wait before writing her scroll?
A month.
Absolutely correct. Why couldn't Tessia penetrate Kahir's mind?
Magic barriers or something like that.
Absolutely correct. Istrid said he wasn't there to study Nilfgaard. He was there to study what?
Ruins. Or archaeologically, like history.
It was something specific that he said.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Maybe a little hint, something that Ciri shattered?
Oh, the monolith?
Oh, the monolith. Yeah.
There you go. We're back.
Now it makes sense in episode 4 when she says, I know someone who, like... Yeah. All right.
There you go. Exactly. That's what they were talking about. That's why they portaled them there. Where are the elves flocking to?
Centria.
Absolutely.
Or Zentrea.
Either way, I love that. How many mages did Strogobor say they were burning?
1,000.
That's a bit off the charts.
500.
100?
You're getting closer, barely.
I don't remember. 50, 25.
Oh, 13.
Oh, trick question. Close. Absolutely. It was actually, he said they were burning 14. I'll give you this one. He said they were burning 14, and then Yennefer walks in and says, no, 13, because she's still alive. So, trick question there, a little bit of a banana peel, but yeah, 14 is the answer there. Once getting to the ninja course, Lambert asks Ciri if she's what?
Like, if she's had enough or if she's ready to go back home or something like that.
What did Lambert ask Ciri if she was afraid of?
The turtle?
Oh, there it is. A little bit of a clue. So close. J. Cruz got the monolith. I love it. Iron Patron got the magical barrier. Nice job. Nice job. Absolutely. Not all too hard. What does Lambert call Ciri?
Princess?
Absolutely. Always calls her princess. Who cried death to all kings? This is a deep dive.
Falca?
Oh, nicely done. Absolutely. That's who
was that?
was talking about the whole time. Falca. Absolutely correct. Here's a little tougher one. Who killed Falca's elven mother?
Wait, was it Redank?
Oh my goodness. Somebody took notes. Nicely done,
Yeah,
sir.
I didn't remember that one.
Nicely done. Where did Falca supposedly take Strogobor's hands? When did she take her hands? Where was that at? Talked about it earlier in the episode. Iron says, hey, Siri. Yeah. Oh, that's classic. Will Siri know these answers? These are deep dives. Who killed Falca's... where did Falca supposedly take Strogobor's hands? And next question, who was Falca's father?
I know he was a king. That was it.
Absolutely. And you already said his name. Same one who killed the elven mother.
I don't remember the name still.
Bada boom, bada bing. Keeping it moving. How did Falca kill her father?
Burning him, or was it axe to the throat?
Burning or poison?
What was the second one you said, Phantom?
Axe to the throat.
Axed him in the neck. Absolutely. Well done. Well done. He said I'm 50-50 on this one. How many elves did Hake say were coming into Centria?
4,000.
Too many?
4,000. Absolutely correct. Who did Fringilla say brought her and Francesca together?
It was that Elden Witch, whatever.
It was. Do you remember what they called it? She had it.
It was somebody's persona that one of the elf personas of one of their gods, I think.
They gave it a name. If you know that answer, write it in the chat, or no, it's not Robert Baratheon. Oh, write it down in the comments down below. And last but not least, when a Witcher cracks his skull, they fill him with veritum, spurge, and what?
Some other random herb.
No clue.
He said when the Witcher cracks his head, they fill him with veritrum, spurge, and what? If you get that answer right down below. Other than that, we're going to keep it moving right on into episode 4, season 2, The Witcher. And this one's called The Redenian Intelligence. And Ciri is trying to follow Geralt's path and his teachings, and she's taking the same dangerous path he is and holding her own while doing it. Like, she still has a way to go, still stumbling and bumbling when she should be more stealth, but little Ciri's getting through it. I like that. She is going to be a nightmare when she goes up. Like, she's going to be unstoppable, the ultimate power.
Mm-hmm.
When she gets up from her fall, we see that Triss has made it all the way here, and she heals Ciri's cut, and Ciri is instantly intrigued. And once they arrive at Carmoran, we see that Triss is right at home. Like, she's obviously been there before, but why, fandom?
That's a good question. Like, she knows pretty much all the Witchers, and she knows how to get there, which is a quote unquote hard place to find.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like,
She wasn't it that she saved one of them from death, because they actually said it in there, and
yeah, in the first season she saved Geralt, but still.
No, I'm not talking about the first season.
Okay,
It's something before that Vesemir had said, but I don't remember what exactly was said. But it was such a great thing to them that he invited her there, and she was there for quite a while.
I like that. Triss makes another crack about the Witcher's smell. Like, how come the Witchers are so against bathing, AK?
I don't know. Because maybe they don't think they sweat enough. because they live in the cold mountains.
Burn, Witcher, burn when you get there.
That boy was
Absolutely.
in
But man,
feelings.
maybe they need to burn just to get that smell off because, man, it sounds like they all stink. It's like we see how horrible things have become in the north for elves, and even the graffiti on the walls read, "The only good elf is a dead elf." Like they're walking them in rope lines through the streets for hours, not even letting them stop to relieve themselves. Like, oh man, this was, yeah, we saw the comparison they were trying to make, but that was just awful.
Yeah, cruel.
That was unbelievable. And if you were Yennefer, would you be risking your life to try to get back to a city full of soldiers whom you just barbecued all their friends and family, fandom?
Hey, as you would say, it's the riskful things you're doing at the time like this.
I'm just like, she is the main reason that scorched and torched that entire army, and now she's just gonna walk into their headquarters and be like, "Oh, sorry, hope you don't hold it against me." I was like, what? Like, is she out of her mind, AK?
I think she's following the path that she sees, I think, as the only path she can follow.
Screw
She
that. Go back
needs
and
more
follow.
elvish magic, I think, to try to, jumpstart her magic engines again. So she doesn't really have too much of a choice. And at this point, she's hella desperate.
I
So
actually like
she's not
that.
thinking about how dangerous it could be.
She's trying to go to the elves to get her magic back. I actually like that. I like that.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the Harry Potter owls do a quick flyby and spread wanted posters all over the city of Yen and Cahir, and things just got a whole lot harder. And then back in Redania, it seems many and more want the king dead, like assassins where you least expect it. And who, like, you already gave us a good one, fandom, but who the hell is that peeping Tom, like, coming through the owl using it as a spy cam?
I'll tell you, Shrugaborn. That's my guess. Unless it's like a character we have not seen yet.
I think it might be that witch, the deadless mother.
Yeah, I don't see any clues for Stregobor there. But the witch, yeah, I could buy that one.
Yeah, I think it might be the deathless mother. Why did Ciri ask about herbs and mushrooms only to have the other witchers act like she was nuts in front of Triss? Like, how are they getting them in the dead of winter? And then I think we get a little answer later. But what were you thinking about that, fandom?
No clue.
Like when they're all sitting there at dinner and Ciri's like, "Oh, no mushrooms or herbs for me tonight," and they're like, "Oh, you must have hit your head too hard. What do you mean? There's no mushrooms in December or whatever." So, I mean, did you get what they were saying with that, AK?
No, actually. I think I remember listening to that part. I think I rewound it a little bit because I thought I'd missed something. But yeah, that still didn't clear it up.
Well, later on, Trish comes and then she's like, when she's screaming at him about not treating the girl like a girl and like, have you given her a rag for her blood and all this stuff, which you probably won't have to with all those mushrooms you've been feeding her. So I think that was a clue that they're giving her the mushrooms and herbs to turn her into a witcher.
I mean, that's what she said she wanted. So if that's the road to do it, then yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. Do you really want to take your humanity away though? Like Geralt said, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like, I don't know about that. Like that made me go, wait a minute. They might be
I don't think it would take like her
thing,
humanity
though.
away though, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think because Geralt is plenty human and caring about people that affect him. I don't think it has anything to really do with humanity.
I still call bullshit on that. I still think that's just a prejudice against Witcher, saying like they like rob their humanity away.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying like her humanity necessarily. I'm saying her human characteristics and traits, like being able to have another child. Because as we know, witchers can't procreate, just like mages. They take their ovaries. And I think these magic herbs do the same thing. I think it make it to where she won't be able to procreate, but it'll give her like another superpower where it's harder to kill her.
But with Ciri, she seems very different though. And as of this current season, they're telling us that what was like the old ways is now like faring away, and we're entering like a new era right now. So even if like she can't procreate, she can now. Then again, her mom was able to, so she should be okay.
Yeah, I think she'll be able to.
The mom wasn't given any mushrooms or magic herbs to stop it though, and they are
our knowledge.
But no.
What's up,
I don't think that would happen. What was I gonna say though? If it ever comes down to maybe bloodlines, then Ciri might find a way to like get around that. Or honestly, I feel like those mushrooms probably ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing when it comes to Ciri. because she's I don't want to say she's OP, but she has a lot of that elvish blood in there. I think more than normal,
Oh, for
really.
sure.
So I don't think those mutation herbs and spices are gonna hit her too hard at all.
Yeah, I like that. Siri seems to be ecstatic to finally have another woman around. Like, it was a great move by Geralt and Vesemir to call her in. Like, this is probably the smartest thing they've done yet as far as trying to be a dad to her.
Yeah, she needs balance.
Absolutely. And Triss is the perfect one to give it to her.
Yep.
And as Cahir and Yen make their way through the night, a guard spots them and starts swinging his sword. And we see, with or without magic, Yennefer can definitely hold her own in them streets, AK.
Yo, look at where they found this chick. She is from the streets. Okay, one thing you're not gonna do is talk shit to Yennefer. Magic or not, you gonna catch them hands.
She was doing it. Oh, boy's like, I had that.
Seriously, oh boy was like, well, shit.
Oh, that was fantastic. I was like, dude, yeah, you're about to catch these hands. Yennefer is about it when it comes down to it.
She about that life.
Right? And they decided to be safer taking the sewers only to instantly be held up to a knife with his throat. Like, that was messed up. But then he gets the drop on the man holding the knife, who yells for his cohort to run. And his mute friend says, no, I'll stay and fight, which is very interesting when compared to what happens next, Phantom. Did you notice that?
Yep.
And then, like, because then some sort of water creature comes swimming through the sewers, and then Luke
And
Skywalker's
man,
You want to know what I noticed?
What's
You
that?
were a little bit too hopeful and happy, young man.
You're not allowed to have dreams. in
If
these
you
days?
think this has a happy ending, you're not paying attention to the story.
instantly.
It's classic.
And the black elf of all
And that's what I'm
people.
saying. It's a melanated person with too much fucking hope. Automatically wiped out.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's the first thing
My boy
I said.
didn't even get to see the shit first.
Nope. I was like, of course, killing the black character. Of course. First and foremost, didn't get 2 feet down the sewers. I was like, oh my God. Just Luke Skywalkered him out, takes him out, and instead of helping, the old man runs to save himself. And then when confronted by Yen soon after, he claims, I did what I had to do. He would have done the same. I was like, motherfucker, he just told me not 10
No, he
minutes
didn't.
ago. Right? He just said 10 minutes ago. Like, I know that ain't right. Like, he hasn't signed but 10 words since I've seen this character, and 8 of them were there, I'm not abandoning you, I'll stay and fight. So what's this I hear about you besmirching this man's name? I was sick.
Right. You put some respect on that man's name, okay? Just because you lost your balls don't mean you got to project that on somebody else.
Oh man, were you tying that all in, fandom? When the one kid said, "I'll stay and fight," and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, he would have done the same." Like, no, he wouldn't have. He just tried to help you 10 minutes earlier. Oh, I was sick.
Crazy. The only one that was a damn brunette.
Right?
Right. You know, could he get a hug and a kiss from the brunette, please?
Right?
Maybe squeeze a titty or something.
He's gonna let her boss him around and be happy to do so. Like, can this man not just make it to the next stage? Nope. Unbelievable. And then Triss called Geralt out on Witchers not having emotions, and she said, I know you feel it all. I also noticed that she didn't tell him that Yennefer's still alive. Like, just if he wanted to stay the night with her. I was like, thirsty much? Triss.
Look her, okay. Geralt done ran through all these females. We had what was it? Renfrey, Yennefer, Triss, and I'm pretty sure there's several others that we're gonna meet in seasons to come that have some type of history with this man.
Oh,
and of course she's not gonna say nothing about Yennefer. You don't hype up that the your competition is still alive and available.
Oh, I was like, man, Triss, you're so pure, except for right here. I was like,
right, yeah. Triss, I like you, but come on now, come on, G, calm down.
Oh, that was amazing. And then Cahir finally figures out that Yen has lost her magic, and he takes it very matter-of-factly. Like, it's just, perhaps there's a bigger plan out there for you now. Like, will she ever be able to see things that way, or is she just a nothing without her magic in her own mind, fandom?
Well, she kind of sees that in a way. Like, she is part of a bigger plan right now, hence why she's like taking the Black Knight all the way to freaking Centra, who right now the elf and Fringilla is.
Mm-hmm.
Will she get her powers back? I hope so. And at this rate, it seems like near the end of the season. I was hoping possibly episode 4 or 5. At this rate, it's like near the end of the episode, probably second to last.
Halfway through
It is
the season.
always chuckle worthy when Ion is in the chat.
So good, so good. Oh, then it finally happened. The moment fandom's been waiting for. The Bard finally makes an appearance. And can I just say that man needs to fit more than 5 words into a song? Like, he's a bit repetitive, but people love him.
Repetitive, and he's got the freaking emo Johnny Depp look going on. Like, bro, what the hell is that swoop over your forehead? Get the Bieber freaking hair out of here, Yasker. What the fuck?
Oh, man. How
Sound
happy
like you
were
over
you?
there crying that your boyfriend left you.
Oh, man. How hyped were you when you saw the Bard finally make an appearance, Phantom?
I was like, okay, who's this sandpiper we're gonna be meeting? And then he's like, oh, this person always like plays in the tavern thing. I'm like, okay. Next thing you know, I'm hearing someone singing. I'm like, don't tell me it's this. And then literally it comes. I'm like, oh, come on now. And Yennefer just had to freaking smile just to confirm it. I'm like, come on now. This season's going so well, so perfect, and you show him in there. Ah.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Oh, little ting.
Oh. Then we flip back over to Dijkstra, the guy who killed the assassin that was trying to kill the king. And Dijkstra seems to be having a conversation with someone inside his own head. Like, do we have any idea who that might be? Like I said, I think that owl is the witch from the tomb, and you think it's Strogobor. Do we have any other ideas who that owl might be?
No. Whoever is skin changing the owl, though, is very powerful.
I was about to say,
because they don't even have to like give clues or anything. They talk like in their heads.
Unless
So
it's the guy who should call it not who Trish, not
guy?
Trish.
I'm like, what if it's the White Flame?
Could be, or Yennefer's teacher's partner. His name I forgot.
Vilgefortz?
Yeah.
It could be Vilgefortz. There you go. Oh, it could be.
Wait, which one? Who? Oh, the swords guy.
Yeah, he's the one that's trying to take all the power. He's trying to take the seat.
Maybe.
Because one thing that not everyone knows is who the Emperor is, what's his weaknesses, his strengths. So it's like, if he knows that, that's more power to him.
Absolutely. And they seem to be having a convo on how to take down the White Flame. So obviously it can't be the White Flame, and unless he's like doing a little double move, games within games, which would just be crazy. But he says no one knows anything about him, so they come up with a dubious plan of getting an elf into Cintra to spy for them. And who better for the mission than Dara? It's like, will he and Ciri meet back up, Phantom?
I would like it, honestly, because the way how they departed was kind of like, on the downside of things. But what the hell has Dara been up to this whole time? At one point, I thought it had been like a couple of years or so, but I'm like, no, it's been like a few, like possibly months or so, because first season, a bunch of timelines. At one point, I'm like, was that like the present timeline? And it was. So it's like, what has he been up to the point that they're like, oh, I know the perfect elf for the job?
Yeah, like how much have they interrogated him to even know that much of who he is? And how did he get caught in the first place? Homeboy is like the quickest person on his feet to go run away and hide somewhere.
No, but Ciri left him for dead. He got knocked down and Ciri bounced. He probably got caught.
That's true. Yeah. Forgot about that.
He probably got caught right then and there because Ciri left after he just saved her. I was like, Ciri, that was the first time I was like, Ciri, that's a bad look.
Hopefully she knows better right now.
Yeah, hopefully she'll be come back and try to save. But yeah, that's gonna be hard to make up. Like she's gonna think she's seeing an old friend, and he's gonna be like, I remember where you left me and what I did. So don't come at me with that friend BS.
I can't blame him for that side eye though.
You cannot.
He's not wrong.
Nope. And speaking of, she comes out of the morning looking fresh as a daisy. So of course Lambert and Cohen can't help but to make fun of her, but Triss isn't having it and lets them both have it. Like, hey, this little girl is a little girl, and y'all need to start respecting some boundaries and figuring out that she's not just another little Witcher boy. Like, this is a girl, and you need to start treating her as such.
I'm half on her team with that one though. They're not hard on her just because they're being some asshole older brothers. Ciri wants this training. She wouldn't still be there trying to hold a sword and practice her formations day in and day out until Geralt has to tell her, yo, go take your ass to bed, go get something to eat. So right. I don't know.
Is the stench and the odor and being dirty part of the training though? Because that's all she did was clean up.
Of course. He wanted to smell all fruity fresh throughout the damn woods while hunting.
Like you need to smell
I
the
mean, but
earth.
see, but that's the thing though. If you're outside in nature, those smells kind of tend to blend in. It's like that old with the witches movie with Angelica Houston. To the witches, the little boys smelled like poop. And
Season.
and they only smelled like that really when they were clean. Like them smelling like poop, they could actually still hide from that. But if they smelled like clean, fresh Febreze, that's how the witches know that's actually a kid over there, and I'm gonna go eat it.
Yeah. And then that's also the scene where the Tris brought up the mushrooms. So it's like we figure the witches are feeding Ciri mushrooms and herbs to actually turn her into a witch or turn her into something. Like they're doing something to her body that's going to take her monthly blood away. So Tris wasn't liking that part of it at all.
I think whatever they're doing is going to even further upgrade, or it's going to be some type of side effect that they don't know because they really don't know how Ciri's power is so strong, and it's going to blend with whatever she has because she had powers before she got to the freaking training.
Yeah. And then Geralt's such a good daddy, like brings Ciri some food, but of course says it was the other guy's idea to bring it. And just, gotta love the daddy. He's like going for dad of the year.
I'm pretty sure one of those are later on in the episode when he's giving that speech to her. I was like, oh, Geralt giving the kind dad speech. He go, you
Right?
know what? Wait here. I'll go take care of it.
He's like, I'll fix it. Don't worry. I was like, oh, look at this. Unbelievable. And in the lab, Triss and Geralt make a discovery that the monsters tracking Ciri came from the same place. And then Ciri finally makes a confession when she screams she cracked and brought down the monolith. So Super Dad comes through and, like we just said, says, don't worry, I'll fix it.
What are those monoliths for? Do we know?
No, we don't.
Something magical. Absolutely.
Besides the first time we ever saw it was like in the first season, and it like breaking. Other than that, they don't really bring up the monolith again.
Yeah, they're basically tombs to worship, I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we need.
Unless they put that demon witch in a monolith. Did they mention something like that?
It was in the runes that she was under. Like they found an old school tomb under the runes, so they didn't really call that a monolith. But we don't know. Maybe we'll find out later that it actually was under a monolith.
Yeah.
But the tavern finally clears, and Yennefer pops out to say hi to the bard. And who doesn't know? He doesn't know what to make of this new attitude Yennefer sport. And like he is all perplexed. And it was funny to hear the bard like try to deny that he didn't write that song about Geralt. It's like we know you got the broken heart, son.
I told you he sounded like he's singing to his ex-boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Like who other person we know was known as a butcher?
Exactly.
No way. Exactly.
Clearly, you're still in your feelings, yes, Gary.
Right. And why doesn't Geralt like portals? Like he says they're no fun, fandom.
He likes the journey. This is the same man who was like, okay, watch my horse while I go walk to the nearest, what was it, kingdom when it came to that
Yep.
bewitched princess, whatever. So yeah, there we go. Shriek. There we go. Hey. So yeah. This man loves the journey.
That's what it's all about. I like that too. I was kind of thinking that too. I was like, no, he enjoys the trip, but no, we ain't got time for that. You need to get there not now, but right now. And wasn't that Dockhand telling the bard his opinion, basically talking in metaphors? Like when he said that song wasn't the best and started breaking it down, I was dying. Like it was a bit complicated. Didn't even realize there were different timelines until the fourth verse. That was like basically the fourth episode.
Mm-hmm.
I like how and I spotted the dragon reveal a mile away. Like I was just like,
I was dying. Like, is that DJ?
Exactly. I was crying. And then, of course, the first thing I think when he said that, I was like, were they really using miles back then? I was like, spotted them a mile away. Ain't nobody talking about miles back then. Miles weren't invented yet.
That's the same thing. They had graffiti in the freaking in one of the damn villages. Where the hell did y'all get the idea for that?
Right. Oh, that was fantastic. Hey, they just painting on walls. They're just giving signs. But yeah, it was so blatant the way they were breaking down. Like he was supposed to be talking like how we're thinking about this show. I was loving it. Like a bit complicated. I didn't even realize there was different timelines to the fourth verse. Like it was so spot on. I was loving it. So brutal when the old man decided to pay back the life debt though and sacrifice himself so the others can make it to the boat. Like, and the way he did it using some of German's last words, like fuck the North. I was like, God dang, he's going out like a boss. I gotta give him that.
He did.
He paid it back. And on the way back home, Vesemir finds a rare flower that's bloomed in the snow where Ciri bled, and he takes it to Triss, and she confirms it. It only grows when elder blood is spilled. So it is confirmed Ciri has not just elf blood, but elder blood running through her veins. I was like, oh, shit. That was tight.
And I'm wondering how far back that is. How far back and what are the branches of that family tree that led up to Maggie the Frog and then to her daughter?
All the way to the beginning. If it's elder blood, it goes all the way back thousands of years.
I know, but from who is what I'm saying.
Oh, who started
and
it?
Where was their place in the world, and where are they now? Are there only one or two left? Yeah. Somebody's in hiding somewhere. I don't know. There's a lot of explanation I want there.
It'll be funny if it's not the mom, it's actually the father's blood.
I was thinking about that too.
That'd be pretty sick.
She's like the child of prophecy of, that's, and it goes back to like
that would be why she's so powerful.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you think it might go all the way back?
She's a Stark. Ciri is a damn Stark. Both them parents have magical blood in some way, shape, or form. Just like Ned and Catelyn.
Oh, Jake says back then this isn't Earth. This is a whole nother realm. I still don't think they were using miles back then.
I almost said Earth.
Oh, this means her blood has the power to make more Witchers, so Vesemir is obviously all in. Like, he's totally stoked. He's going to be able to make some more Witchers. But I don't know. Is Ciri going to, like, want to give up her blood to be able to make more Witchers? Like, is that going to be a thing?
She wants to be a Witcher, so if it's not, like, harming her too much, I'm sure she'd be down for the cause, actually.
Pretty sweet. And then back to the Bard, he gets the elves onto the ships, and hey, Dara's there. It's like, you better not put Ciri in harm's way, kid, because I get it, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a problem with Dara. I think it's going to be a bad play with him, I think, in the end.
Maybe.
And the Bard said he doesn't believe that Chaos is done with Yen. What's up, fandom? Is he right? Is Yen going to get her magic back with Chaos before it's over?
It's like what Ciri said in that whole, like, her episode thing. The daughter of Chaos belongs to us. Yeah. Which daughter of Chaos is being talked about here?
No.
Now that is the question. And I have no idea. So that's really fun to speculate on.
And then when the Bard leaves, we hear him get jumped and his loot hit the ground, and Yen starts to run up there to see what happened, but Kahir says they have to stay and save themselves. Quite the similarity to what the old man and the Dermain situation was. Like, just wanting to save himself and not help the ones who got him here. Like, what is that?
10 out of 10 episode, just for that alone.
Let's be real, though. You know, Yasker's a big character, even though we haven't seen him too much. He's a big character connected to in the whole grand scheme of things. So he'll be fine. He's probably going to get roughed up a little bit, but he'll be all right.
And how old is he? Because he's known Yennefer basically all her life, or most of it. So how old is this Bard? He's not nothing normal either.
Yasker?
The Bard, the Bard has been around from the early days of Geralt. We know he's older than usual, and he's known Yennefer.
Not from the early days of Geralt. Geralt was a Witcher for quite a long time before Yasker.
It seems like Jasper is the one who pumped him up, though, started singing the songs about him and made him famous. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like he's been around for a long time if he's been able to get the whole world singing his songs talking about this Witcher. Like, no, people might have known that there was a Witcher, but he wasn't famous before the Bard made him famous.
He was the Butcher of Blaviken, and that was before Yasker.
But was that outside of that province? Was he anybody? Did anybody know about him?
Him specifically, I would think so, but I mean, it's possible. It's the timelines and how they link up.
Yeah, it's
that I'm thinking about.
But that just had me thinking, like, how old is the Bard? He must not be normal either, and that'd be funny.
Jake says it's only been 15 years.
Right. 15 years since he saw him last. But I mean, he saw Yennefer before that. But yeah, well, I don't know. We'll have to see.
It's that timey-wimey stuff, man. Don't try to figure it out. You're going to give us all a headache.
Mm-hmm. So to end it up, who do we think took the Bard fandom? Like, my guess is Dijkstra and his men, but the same ones who planted Dara. But who do we think took them?
Yeah, pretty much. The Dixer and his men probably took him, if anything, because he didn't sold him. So it's like,
What do you
where's
think?
those damn
AJ?
papers?
Is that it?
Uh, I feel like that would be too easy
Right?
because no wait, all of those guys were about to get on the ship.
Oh, what guys?
What you talking about? The guys that needed to be distracted so Yennefer and the other guy the other refugees could get on the boat, right?
No,
Like
Dixter.
Yennefer heard the loot drop and then she got off the boat and went to look. But just before that, the captain head guy that was talking to Yesker about the song said that we're leaving now, everybody on board.
No, Dijkstra's the one who killed the assassin trying to poison the king, and that was talking to the owl, drinking that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And he came up with the plan to put Dara on the boat. So I think him and his men are the ones that grabbed the bard, because if they knew enough that there was a boat going on and to sneak him into it, then they must be on. So I think maybe it must be them. But I don't know. Like you said, I like that what you said earlier is that might almost be too easy because that's instantly where we go. So maybe it was somebody else who did it.
Because who's really gonna kidnap Yasker?
Maybe it's Geralt. Maybe Geralt came back and he wants the bard with him and Istrid to where they're going to figure out what's going on.
He wouldn't break the loop.
Yeah, and why would Geralt do that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He hates the music. Why else would he not break the loop? I would break it.
Oh shit! What's up, Peter Christmas out there? Oh man, Yen's 100, Geralt's 95 to 100, Bard's only 50. No love for the
that's
Bard.
actually that's
Oh,
right.
the Bard.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much that was season 2, episode 4, and man, I'm really excited to get on to 5 and 6 and see where this story takes us because I'm loving the ride so far. So as usual, we're going to end it up with a little bit of trivia, see what anybody remembers about this one. If you know the answer, write it in the chat box. If you're watching later, put it in the comments down below. But getting it started, who is King of Redania?
That is...
Who is the King of Redania?
He's an asshole. I don't
Vizimir?
It is Vizimir, absolutely, the one who almost got poisoned. Who killed the woman trying to poison the king?
The red piece looking guy. The bald dude that's talking to the bird.
Yeah, we've been saying his name
for
the last 10 minutes.
Isra?
Yep, Dijkstra, absolutely. What game did Cohen offer to play with Siri before bed?
Knuckleback, whatever.
Nope.
Jump rope.
Card game.
And
Dominoes.
they're going to get in.
You think they had dominoes there?
They probably could have.
If you know that one, write it in the chat box down below. What was the mute man's name?
Oh, that was Jermaine.
Absolutely, Jermaine. That is correct. What was Fandom's favorite character's alias in this episode?
Get out of here.
What did they call the bard?
Sandpiper.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Sandpiper.
Of course, it's Fandom who gets that one right on his favorite character. Where did the two travelers Yen met in the sewers work before they went on the run?
Weren't they?
I want to say a tavern, but it wasn't.
That is incorrect.
They were in Craftsman, were they?
That is incorrect.
Butchers? Tailors?
Nay and nay. If you know that answer, put it in the chat box. If you're watching later, write it in the comment section down below. Oh,
Bard's Greatest Hits album.
Oh, that's fantastic. Seamstress is incorrect. Oh, if you know that answer later, write it down below. Where did they work before they went on the run? What was the old man? What's that?
Was it on the docks?
It was not. What was the old man in the sewer's name?
This is Balin or something like that.
Ball or Balin, acceptable. Absolutely correct. Where was the bard the night it got raided and changed his life into what it is today?
Oh,
It was the Oak Bale Hairs? The Hailers?
The Great Oak Blerbus. Nicely done. What did the druids call it?
The Seat of Friendship.
You are smoking tonight. Well done, sir. Well done. Where did the boat meant for Centria leave from?
no, I don't know the name of it.
When they all got on that boat, where were they at? Where's it leaving from?
Hershey Parks. I don't know.
It is a name we've heard before. you know that one, write it in the chat box or in the comment section down below. Who replenished Geralt's elixirs before he left?
Trish?
Was it? No, I don't think it was Tris.
It was a trick question because Trish is the one who gave it to him, saying,
Yeah, saying
it.
so and so. So yeah, I remember the scene. Can't remember the name she said.
Who was it who actually replenished it?
The guy that messes with Siri the most, with the curly haired dude.
Lambert?
Is that his name? Yeah, Lambert.
That is incorrect. Oh, seamstress, net makers, show offs. Incorrect. And last but not least, what rare flower did Vesemir find on his way home?
The damn purple thing that grows when elder blood hits the ground.
Faneweed or something like that?
Fennewood, absolutely. You fandom.
Yeah, good on you, fandom.
Yes, well done. A couple of helps from AK. And that's going to do it for us. That is, like I said, I'm all in on The Witcher. I'm loving the ride. You still all, you 100% in fandom, minus the bard?
Exactamundo, 100% in, minus the
Will you let Yasker live his life, man?
Oh, it's so fantastic. Absolutely loving it. And I can't wait to get to the next two, which is going to be right back next Tuesday night. So I look forward to seeing everybody back here. I hope everybody's having an absolutely fantastic week.
Hold on.
What's up?
Aren't we doing something Saturday?
Oh, yeah, we can give a shout out to that. Absolutely. Saturday, we're going to be doing a big wrap up, or we're going to get the whole gang on there and bring on the old schoolers, new schoolers, and we're going to be talking about all things Peacemaker in the season 1.
Oh, shoot, it ended?
It will. Next Friday is going to be.
Yeah, it's got one. Yeah.
Saturday or
next
Thursday
Friday is the end.
Yep, Thursday at midnight will be the last one.
Yep.
And let me just say, before they even tell us right now, me and my boy Johnny were going back and forth on whether Judo Master has a butterfly in him. And I'm going to say 100%. We kind of went back and forth, and I'm still standing strong. And I think I have even more now that no, Judo Master is not.
I don't think it does.
Who's the Judo Master?
The little short dude.
Oh,
with the green costume, yeah.
When I first saw him, I thought that was freaking detachable arm guy for a second. Then I'm like, no, that's not him.
No, I just think he has a hell of a lot of fighting skill. Yeah. I don't think he's got a butterfly.
I don't think he's a butterfly at all. I think that's why. I mean, there's a few reasons, but yeah, we'll break it down on the show. But yeah,
wait, you think there's a butterfly in him?
No, I don't think there is.
No,
but Johnny thinks he does.
Johnny says 100% there is, and I'm like, no, 100%
nah.
there's not.
He's too independent thinking.
Not a butterfly. I think I'll give a bunch of reasons on Saturday, but one easy one is that's why he's always eating them flaming hot Cheetos. You never see him without a bag because them butterflies can't handle the heat.
They can't handle that. Yep.
No, so that's why he's constantly eating those, so a butterfly can't get inside him. And I have a bunch more breaking it down. So yeah, no way is he a butterfly. And we're going to get into all that and much more next Saturday. So make sure you're all caught up and get that last one watched this Friday. And Saturday, we're going to be talking all things Peacemaker. But other than that, that's going to do it for us. I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week. And it only gets better from here. Until we see you Saturday, be easy, everybody.